British Prime Minister Keir Starmer is the latest European leader to make a personal appeal to President Trump to continue U.S. support for Ukraine in the war with Russia and to stop his tariff threats.
Starmer was at the White House today, and Margaret Brennan has more on that.
This is really special.
UK Prime Minister Starmer gifted an engraved invitation from the King, an attempt to charm and change the mind of President Trump.
I think Russia has been acting very well.
French President Emmanuel Macron made a similar track to inform and persuade.
Europe is loaning the money to Ukraine. They get their money back.
No, in fact, to be frank, we paid.
From Brussels, the 27 countries that make up the European Union dispatched their top diplomat, Kaja Kallas.
Are all of the European leaders coordinating? And if so, what's the message?
We are coordinating, and of course the message is that the fight that Ukraine is having is not only about Ukraine's sovereignty, but it's much, much broader. It's about freedom of the free world, really. It is clear that Russia attacked Ukraine.
But the Trump administration has decided now not to say that explicitly.
It is certainly, a very strong Russian narrative that they want to run to really push, saying that, oh, it's a conflict between two equal parties. It is very clear. One country attacked another country very brutally with force and is bombing Ukraine every day.
Yet the U.S. voted against a UN resolution that called out Russia for its invasion of Ukraine 3 years ago. Another battlefield with Europe, President Trump vowed a tariff of 25% on their goods, including cars.
The European Union was formed in order to screw the United States.
What was your reaction to that remark?
Europe is a peace project. It was created so that we wouldn't have wars between the members of the European Union, and we haven't had.
And Margaret Brennan joins us now from Washington. So, Margaret, when these leaders come, what's the one thing or one or two things that they really want to try and convince President Trump about?
Well, John, they're basically trying to convince President Trump that Europeans aren't freeloaders. There's been explanation that the EU has forked over about $145 billion worth of humanitarian, military, and financial aid, mainly in the form of grants, over the past 3 years of this war. America's still the world's arsenal. It still has tens of thousands of troops in Europe. But the Vladimir Putin aggression in Ukraine has so terrified European states that they have pumped up spending. Now, 23 of the 32 NATO allies spend over 2% of their own GDP on their own defense. So there is some persuasion that's happening to try to keep America committed to defense. There's also some side dealing on independent nature. Keir Starmer pitched President Trump on a free trade deal as well.
And Margaret, ultimately, what do the European leaders want from Donald Trump?
Well, Germany's incoming chancellor openly questioned whether America can be counted on at all. And today, President Trump said the words they were listening for, which was America's still committed to come to the defense of NATO allies. But really, it is that commitment not just to defense, but also to trade. To be clear, tomorrow, when Ukraine's President Zelensky comes to the White House, no one is making him any kind of security promise. That's going to be a joint investment deal. And neither Europe nor the United States are promising him defense.